Hello everyone and welcome to my CS24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Curse of Oak Island. Team comes across a way to find out who built mysterious stone roadway and why. This week on The Curse of Oak Island, the team reckons a piece of coal can tell them who built the mysterious stone roadway and why they built it. Also, this week, the guys suspect they may have unearthed a support beam from the original money pit. In the words of surveyor Steve Guptill, the guys finally took their first shot at the money pit this year. Working off an old map found by historian Doug Crowell, they began drilling in a new location, hoping to hit the money pit. And the excitement levels went through the roof when, at 79 feet, they encountered some very old-looking wood. Terry Matheson said it looked like a support beam, and Rick Lagina suggested it might actually be the money pit. The rest of the guys all looked quite shaken at these words. Unfortunately, this excitement was extremely short-lived as the Curse of Oak Island appeared to strike again. This time the curse manifested itself in the form of a busted sonic drill rig with a blown hose. This signaled the end of drilling for the day. The drilling was recommenced the following day, but this time the guys were bombarded by an Atlantic storm front. Sometimes it really does feel like a supernatural power is holding the guys back. They managed to continue working, but they decided to call a halt for the week as they just weren't getting results. Meanwhile, the rest of the team continued to uncover the stone roadway originally unearthed in the swamp. The guys are becoming increasingly sure that the road is leading them in the direction of the money pit. Piece of coal is most significant artifact they found, and it was on the roadway that the discovery of a small piece of coal led geologist Dr. Ian Spooner to suggest they'd just found their most significant artifact. Ian says if he can analyze the coal to get a date and a place of origin, then they can determine who built the roadway and also perhaps why they built it. The excitement levels rose once again, only to be somewhat dashed by Ian when he set the test with last month's. You could see the frustration etched in the guys' faces at the thought of waiting so long. However, while the team and us viewers are obviously impatient, the wood found in the money pit along with this piece of coal on the roadway could both prove to be hugely significant finds moving forward. Team also discovered a barrel lid, maybe from 1400s. There was one other intriguing find this week near the roadway. The guys unearthed the top of a wooden cask/keg or barrel, and they took it to blacksmith expert Carmen Legg, who told them its age range was from the 1400s to 1760s. Carmen was also able to say it had not been manufactured in Nova Scotia and that it wasn't watertight, so the barrel would have been used to transport dry goods like gunpowder or flour, or treasure. This season is really heating up now. We just got to keep our fingers crossed that the equipment stays intact and the weather stays calm, and hopefully the guys will keep coming up with great finds. The sun had just begun to crest over the tree line, casting a golden shimmer across the marshland as the Oak Island team prepared for another day of exploration. The swamp had been drained to a workable level, the pumps humming in the background, and the stone roadway, stretching in a jagged, enigmatic line, lay exposed like the fossilized bones of some ancient giant. Rick Lagina, hands tucked in his vest pockets, studied the formation with the quiet intensity that had become his hallmark. "This road has been calling to us for years," he said, his voice almost reverent. "And maybe today we'll finally hear what it has to say." Marty, ever the pragmatist, raised an eyebrow. "It's a road, Rick. Somebody built it. What we need to figure out is who, and more importantly, why." That why had kept them on this island for over a decade. Theories had ranged from Templar knights to Portuguese sailors, from British military engineers to French colonists. Each had left fragments of possibility, but none had offered undeniable proof. Until now, the first clue. Archaeologist Dr. Laird Niven knelt by the edge of the roadway, brushing away the muck with careful, deliberate strokes. Embedded in the stones was a small, oddly shaped object. He plucked it out, turning it in his gloved hand. "It's a wooden dowel," he announced, But not just any dowel. This looks like it was used in pegged construction, perhaps to hold planks together, like in shipbuilding. Rick's eyes lit with recognition. You're saying the builders of this road might have been shipwrights? Or sailors, Laird corrected, which could explain why this road disappears into the swamp. It might have been a slipway, a way to haul something heavy from the water inland. The team exchanged knowing glances. Something heavy, something secret, the very kind of operation that would have required an inconspicuous landing site. The discovery of a marker. Later that afternoon, as the excavator peeled back another layer of muck, Gary Drayton's metal detector let out a shrill cry. "Now that's the sound of treasure, mate," he said, excitement dancing in his eyes. Digging carefully, they uncovered a rusted but ornate iron spike. It was far too decorative to be a simple tool. Laird speculated it might be a marker, used to signify a boundary or waypoint along the road. Marty turned it over in his hands. It almost looked ceremonial. If this road was just for hauling supplies, why bother marking it with something like this? The question lingered. Perhaps the roadway wasn't just functional, it was symbolic. Turning to history, back at the Interpretive Center, historian Doug Crowell laid out maps and manuscripts across the table. He pointed to a centuries-old Portuguese record that spoke of stone-paved paths in the New World, used by navigators to transport goods inland from hidden coves. If the Portuguese were here in the late 1400s or early 1500s, as some believe, this road could very well have been their work, Doug explained. They had the skill, the ships, and the motive. Wealth from the New World was flooding back to Europe, and secrecy was everything. Marty leaned forward. So, you're saying this could have been a covert operation, unloading treasure or cargo where no one would suspect? Exactly. A concealed port of entry. A breakthrough with science. The next day brought the most promising development yet. A ground-penetrating radar scan revealed anomalies beneath the roadway. The images suggested the stones weren't laid at random, but in an intentional pattern, almost like a code. Dr. Spooner, the geoscientist, was quick to interpret. This isn't just a road. It's pointing somewhere. Look, the angle here isn't aligned with the shoreline. It's aligned with a magnetic bearing, a bearing that leads directly toward the money pit. The revelation electrified the team. Could the roadway itself have been designed as a guide, a navigational tool built to lead future travelers back to whatever had been buried? Rick, visibly moved, whispered. This could mean it wasn't just for hiding something in their own time. It was meant to be found again. By who, though? Piecing the puzzle.